Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. This video is about how to easily understand a C program. Here I will talk about how to understand the basics of programming and how to easily remember each and every step in a C program. So if you can remember each and every step in a C program, we do not need to by heart anything. We can easily recollect what all statements do we need to write while executing a C program. Now, if we see what is programming, programming is a way where we say things to the computer in a language that it will understand, and we will do this in a step-by-step manner. So, the first thing we learned basically in a computer was typing. We might have been taught to type something. So, we will see the first program is we will see how to print something, how to write a program in C to print something. Okay, so this is the basic format of a C program. Okay, so this is the first thing that we need to learn while we write a C program. So now we will break these steps one by one and see why we are writing these things and what each line means. The first thing in a C program or in any programming is main. Now if you see here, we have written main and two round braces followed by opening curly brace and a closing curly brace. So the main is the part where we start the execution. So in a computer program, you might write 1,000 lines before this main or after this main, but the compiler will find this main and will start to execute from this main only. So this main is the most important thing in a C program. Okay, so how we'll write it? We'll write it main with two round braces and then an opening curly brace and a closing curly brace. So you have to remember these things. Now what is this int? This int is similar to an integer. Integers like 0, 1, 2, 3. These are integers. So int is similar to an integer. Now why we are writing this int, we will see that later. But we have to remember that the first thing to write in a C program is int main, round braces and two curly braces. Now, as I said before, the first thing we will learn is to print something. Now, to print something, what we will write is we will write the keyword printf. Printf and printf and two round braces. So, whatever we write inside this round braces, that will be printed as it is. So, printf, two round braces, inside that round braces we will have double quotes and we will write hello world. Now whatever we have written inside this double quotes will be printed as it is. Okay, and every statement that we write inside these curly braces, those statements will end with a semicolon. We do not have to use a semicolon here, or we do not need a semicolon here. Only those statements which we write inside these curly braces, those statements will only end with this semicolon. Okay, so just as we have main, we have printf. So this main and this printf both are called as functions, that is they do some work. Okay, the first part in a C program is main, that is where the execution will begin, and the first thing that we are writing inside or doing inside the main is we are printing something using this keyword printf, and inside the curly round braces you have hello world and double quotes. Now the next thing is, whenever we are writing int main, we also have to write something at the end of the inside the main. We also have to write return 0. This 0 we are using because we have written here int, that is integer, we are returning 0. Now why we are returning 0 and why we are return int, we will see that later. We just have to remember that whenever we use int, we have to return an integer, that is return 0, and this statement is inside these two curly braces. That's why we are using a semicolon to end this statement. Now we have written printf and return 0 into main, but still the compiler will not be able to understand what exactly to do with this printf. So we need to give the compiler a certain library or a certain file to, and that file printf will be defined, and that file will specify what the compiler should do when it sees printf, and that is what we are going. Before this main, we have to include a certain file called stdio.h in the header. As a header file you have to include. That's why we are writing hash include, and the angular brackets we are writing stdio. This is a library file which will tell the compiler what to do when it sees printf. We also have many other library files called conio.h and many other stuffs. So this is the basic format of a C program. So to write any program, these things are included. So I will say it again. The first thing you have to remember is the execution of a C program will start with main. So you have to write main, two round braces and two curly braces, and whatever we are going to write inside main, we have to write it inside these two curly braces. And again we are using int main, that is an integer, and because of that you also writing a return 0, returning an integer. And in this program we're going to print a statement. So writing print f with two round braces, and inside the double quotes we're writing hello world. Whatever we write inside these double quotes will be printed as it is, and the statement, these two statements are inside these curly braces, so we are ending these two statements with a semicolon. Now we also have to give a header file so that the compiler will understand what to do with this printf. That's why we are writing hashtag include stdio.h. Now what we will do is we will execute this program and see whether this working or not. Okay, so you can use software Turbo C to execute a C program. I'm using an online website to execute this C program. So now, as I said, I will be using a C online compiler to compile this. So this is where I will be writing the C program, and here the output will be displayed. So as I said, the first thing to write is main with the round braces, and then I will open and close curly brace. Inside the curly, before that I will write int main. I'll specify it as returning an integer, and then I will be printing a statement using printf, printf with round braces, and inside that double quotes I will write hello world, and because it is inside this curly braces I will end the statement with a semicolon, and then I will return 0 because I am writing int main, and I will end with a semicolon. Now I will also specify a header file. I will write hash include, that I am including this file, that I will write in angular brackets stdio.h. Okay, so this is my basic program. Now I will click on the run button to check whether I am getting the output or not. See the hello world, and it is printed as it is. Code execution successful. Now I can print as many statements I want. Now I'll print one more statement, printf. Inside that double quotes I will write hello, how are you, and I will end with a semicolon. Every statement that is written inside this curly braces I will end with a semicolon. I will click on the run button, and I will see my output here. See hello world, hello, how are you. Now there is no space between these two statements, so now I want these two statements to be printed in separate lines. So what I will write here, after hello world I will write /n, so that after hello world it will leave a line and it will give me the next statement. I'll click on the run button, and I'll check the output here. Hello world is printed in one line, a line has leave a line, and then the next is on the next line. Now I can print as many statements I want. I will write here /n, and I will copy paste this printf statements, and I will write different, I am good, well done, C programming, you are an expert. Okay, so now I want all these statements to be printed in a new line. Because I've written /n after each line, it will print all the statements in new line. So you will check, we'll click on the run button, you will check, see every statement is printed in a new line. Here I have forgotten to put /n. See, every statement is a new line. So this is the program we have seen to print different statements, how to write a C program. So this is what we have seen. Again, I repeat one more time. This is main, and we will write int main, and for the int main we will return an integer. That is, we have to write this return 0 in the last line. Okay, and then inside these curly braces we have all these printf statements, and every statement inside the curly braces will end with a semicolon. Now one more thing I like to add here is, see, now every statement is printed in separate lines. If we want each and every statement in the same line but with a certain space, what we do is, instead of n/n we will write /t. To every line we will write /t. And you click on the run button, we will see the changes. See, hello world, and then a space, hello how are you, then a space, then I'm good, then a space, well done, space. So we have learned two things. We can use either /t or /n for new line and /t for a space. So this is the end of the first video. We have seen how to print a single statement and how to print many statements, and how to leave a line between two statements, how to leave spaces using /tab between two statements. So this was the first video. In the upcoming videos, we will see more such things, and we will learn in much more depth, and we will learn step by step how the compiler executes a program. So thank you so much for watching this video. Continue watching the video and subscribe to this channel to learn more about C programming.